Hey folks, thanks for joining. I am just getting set up here. If you could give me 1 more minute, we will get rolling here. I am not going to be very long. I just wanted to, it's going into Friday. Might be a trade or two on deck for to close off the week, but nothing too serious, I don't think. Nothing that's going to make you a millionaire overnight. But that's not to say we can't scalp a few pips here and there going forward. So I think I've got all my notifications out, so let's get fired away here. Again, I'm only going to be about 15 minutes. Just want to roll through it quickly. Talk about the dollar today. Man, look at the pop that we had on the dollar. Unbelievable. So I just actually want to bring up a real quick chart. So you, or sorry, chart. Real quick news event calendar here, so you can see. I mean, there's some stuff in here that was driving the markets for sure. Core durable goods, final GDP numbers. We had Powell speaking. I mean, tons of stuff that was just moving the markets around. So lots of volatility. Great to see some movement finally after coming off the summer months here. Some nice levels that were hit. And then going into Friday, we've got some euro news, some pound news, and some Canadian dollar news, followed up with a couple of medium impact news events for the US dollar around 8:30 a.m. New York time. And then we've got a couple of members speaking, some PMI news, and et cetera, et cetera. So nothing too serious to close out the week. But again, we should see price moving around a little bit for us and create a couple of opportunities, I believe, to cap off the week. So, with that being said, we may not see. We'll probably see some action, obviously, on the pound dollar with this high impact current account event and final GDP numbers for the pound at 4:30 a.m. New York time. So we'll see that. So I'm going to talk about that market here quickly and see where we're at on the day for that one. But just talking about this dollar. So ultimately, as I was saying, I don't know if you guys caught my live session yesterday or not, but basically, I wanted to see if this 93.70 level was going to break to the downside. Price didn't even come down to it at all. It completely rejected. Right about the middle of this range right here. You see these 1, 2, 3 candles. Right about the, almost, if I took a fib, it'd be right about the middle of these three bodies, that candle. Smashed straight up, and I said, what are they going to be looking for? And I had these two equal highs. See these two daily candles right here, two equal highs on the daily. I had that marked out. Again, I don't know if you're joining me for the first time or not, but if you saw this yesterday, I would have pointed this level out, that and I said I think they're going to be reaching for these prices right here, which should be the 94.30 to 94.40 level. They hit that easily today, or sorry, I should say. So it's 9:30 pre-London Open my time here, so 11:30 New York time, so just about the new day, North America wise. I don't know where you guys are all joining me from this evening, but it's new day across the pond, obviously. And yeah, price just smashed up through those levels, so took out those stops very easily and ran. What was the high? I'm just gonna, give me 1 second here. I just want to grab a couple of levels just so we know where we're talking and where price was running. Whoops. So you can see price just failed, just barely. You can see this line isn't quite straight, so it just barely got up to this candle right here and has died off so far. So pretty nice to see. Some good movement there. Quite happy with that. I don't know, like in terms of if this thing is going to go, I think they're going to cool it off. I don't believe Friday. We may see a little bit of a run-up on Friday. And it may come in and want to see the low in this candle here. I wouldn't be surprised if they came up to tag that. Wouldn't be very far away from where it currently is sitting right now. Just see if I can't get a level on that. So that'd be about the 94.70 level. They're currently trading 94.56 on this chart here, so 15 pips higher. I mean, that wouldn't be a huge stretch. So if they do hit that, I don't see them continuing up and blasting and have another big day. Like, it's Friday. The bulk of the week's movement was taken today. I believe there'd probably be a lot of profit taken going into Friday's trading. And so more than likely, if we do see a push up, I would imagine this 94.70 level is going to offer some pretty good resistance. And again, their target on the day was almost the low of this candle right here that we got in. And they actually hit it here. So it's if I go down to the hourly, you can see price came in and banged up into it right there and starting to fall off now. So if they do one more push, I wouldn't expect them to go much further than the 94.70. As I see, I think it's going to be a profit-taking day on Friday, and we'll probably see a pretty good retracement back down. I'm going to jump down to the hourly, and we'll get a couple of levels. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if we came back down and ran, back in, depending on how much they want to pull this thing back. 94.15 to, I see this small consolidation area right here. Where the price went 1, 2, 3 candles in here. They could want to pull back to 94.40 level as well. So one of those two levels, it's a bit of a range, obviously. In terms of from here to here, but I'm expecting downside to close off the day. Now, what I will be looking forward for going into next week for sure. Take a look at this right here. See those equal lows right there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times they tried to go lower, rebalance off of these highs here. That's suspect to me. That means they're going to come back down. Might not be tomorrow. I'm pretty confident next week would probably be on tap for that. But they're going to come back down and recapitalize this area. So you'll see me talking about this tomorrow. I'm sorry, going into next week. If they don't do it tomorrow, into tomorrow's trading. So just keep that in mind. But nice bullish action today. Again, looking for some run back. So that brings us to the euro. Now, I was wrong on the euro in terms of looking for a bounce in this area. I was calling for the 11700 level to see some level of support. It did see a brief retrace. I mean, if you would have got long at 1720, you could have scalped about 20 pips on it. Unfortunately, it didn't even get back up to the old consolidation level in the lows here and rebounded. Just fell off precipitously and ripped and smashed down. Big down day on Euro USD. 120 pips. That's a big range day for the euro. So you can see now they're starting to bounce. So I'm going to just actually bring this guy down here, put the exact lows on today, and you can see how it came down to right about the middle of this consolidation range. So very, that should act as some pretty good support. So what I'm looking for here going into the euro, and there is some euro news coming up here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this. I'd be looking for price to come down. I'm not going to buy it right here. I'd be looking for price to trade up and then start to fall off again. And I'd be looking for price to balance and potentially not come any lower than about this level right here. See this 1640 level? I would hope that this level here would offer some level of support on the downside. So if we don't see price coming in and breaking this level here, we should be fine to take a long. Now keep in mind, with that being said, the U.S. dollar, if the U.S. dollar does push up that one last time to take out the stops above yesterday's high, and it does hit this 94.70, it doesn't have to, right? I mean, I would consider this range fulfilled, coming up and bang into that candle there. But if it does come up and just take this last little 15 pips here, then what's could happen on the euro, and this is where you really want to watch. Keep this in mind. If the euro comes back down and smashes past this 116.40, and I would even, you could even give yourself a little bit of margin of error here. So even maybe 16.35, somewhere in and around there. What I don't want to see happen is price go below this low here. Okay, so if the U.S. dollar does smash up one more time, we could see a run below here. But what I'd be looking for to see is if they would hold price here. So what that would mean is we would have a return back higher and a failure at this level, and then a failure swing on this level on the euro to go any lower. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I will be looking for that. And if that happens, then I'm going to get all over that long, and we'll look for price to retrade back up. Probably, I mean, these highs in here are really nice. This was those highs, again, that I had identified on the dollar. I think, again, those could be held for next week, but we could see at least, watch this here, take a range, low to high. I would easily say that price would probably trade back up to the 1690, maybe even the 1700 level. So from current location, 1640, that could offer a nice 50 to 60 pip range going into tomorrow. That's all you need to close off on a Friday, guys. And so that's what I'm looking for, is just to see if they want to retrace off of this little bull run right here. and drop back down to this level here and see if they want to have any willingness to go under here. I'm not just going to, as soon as price slams back down into here, I'm not just going to start buying it up just because it hits that level. I'm going to wait and watch and see what they're doing and see if there's any rejection to be had, or if they do want to continue have a continuation lower and sweep this low one more time. So that's what I'm going to be watching for. Now cable has got some news coming out. So we can let me just get rid of this. These were my thoughts from the previous day, which obviously didn't. I called the 131.20 level from coming in, but obviously that got smashed back through. And I guess you could have got the area that you would have went short on Thursday's trading would have been when price came down, smashed back up here and failed right here. That's where you'd want to get short, and that would offer you up a nice 90 pips on the day. So same type of idea. Again, big sell-off. Look at the weekly range on the cable. Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday's range back in here. The big give back from last Friday. Monday came up, traded higher. Going into Wednesday's trading, Wednesday reversal, late New York, and then they smashed her down yesterday, and into Thursday's trading, and now we're kind of sitting here. And I would imagine that, again, we're seeing a little bit of a resistance here, or sorry, a little bit of support here at the lower end. You know, with all the news coming out, I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to take these lows. See these lows under here? I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to just quickly come down on that news event at 4:30 a.m. New York time. Wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to come down and sweep those lows. It may not happen. Price might just springboard higher. Looking pretty bearish though. And you look at this as well too. This almost looks like an extended head and shoulders pattern. You see that? So I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little bit of a fall off here. Ultimately, though, you know, again, I'm not necessarily super bullish on the U.S. dollar. So if we do see this as just a brief run higher to clear the stops above this small consolidation level, and then a continuation lower again, we will see the pound dollar start to continue to run higher again. So just keep that in mind. I don't think that bear run on the U.S. dollar is quite done yet, but we'll just have to see. Just keep that in mind, though, right? I mean, it price definitely fell off here, and has made some significant moves to the downside. So, but I mean, if you look on the grand scheme of things, right? I mean, look at this price move. Price could easily come down and hit this 50% retracement level and still reject, and this still be a nice big bullish move higher. I mean, no problem at all. I look at this as just a minor retracement, and for them to gathering up positions to go long. So again, news coming out, 4:30 a.m. New York time. I'm kind of going to be looking for this sort of turtle soup move down. Just a 1, 2, 3, fourth time reject and run higher. If price wants to get down, so here's the thing. If price starts to push and to try and get underneath this low rate here at 130.25, now that's a ways away. I mean, that's 50 pips away from here. That's not just necessarily a quick stop run. Like, I would be looking for maybe 10 pips under these two lows right here. See this 50 level? I'd be looking for maybe 10 pips maximum under that, and I'll just give you kind of a level on that. So that's 130.50. Call it 130.50. I wouldn't want to see price on that stop run go much lower than 130.40. So just watch that. Watch that on the downside. Don't start buying it up right in here or anything like that. Wait and watch and see if it wants to run for these two relatively equal lows under there, and see if they want to do that stop run, that 10 pip stop run. And I'll just throw a level up there so you can kind of see it a little bit better. And so that's right about. I'll just drag this out, and then I will go right there, and we'll put that about the 40 level. And again, the 130.40 will give you an extra, 3 or 4 pips to the downside, because these two levels here aren't exactly at 130.50. So that's sort of what I'm looking for. And then I would expect, I mean, price in here is traded very, very efficiently. So if they lose this red line level here, then we may come back down and see a run underneath these guys here, and then ultimately potentially a run all the way back to the origin of this big bull move up, which I don't think they're going to give back that much on cable. I really don't think they're going to go that deep. It's possible. Anything's possible, of course. But we'd have to, for that to happen, for price to get way down there, they're really going to have to do some serious manipulation, and the US dollar more than likely is probably going to be going higher from there. So I don't quite see that yet. But again, anything can happen. So in Forex trading, obviously, prepare for the worst, and maintain your equity in your accounts at all costs. Make sure you have proper risk management in place, and proceed cautiously. Again, going into Friday, they had a nice sell-off here. We're starting to kind of bounce off the opening of Monday. So, you know, like I say, I'm expecting higher move going into Friday's trading. How much higher? Well, you know, again, we could see price wanting to come back up into this range in here. Or sorry, not that high. I'm right up into this range here. So with a 131.10 level, somewhere in and around there. And if we got a long off, let's say we got a long off from under here, that might offer you about, again, 50-60 pips. So right there, boom, done, handled. That's about it for euro and cable. Real quickly, I want to talk about Canadian dollar. This thing smashed up. You can see here I was predicting it to go higher. It did on Thursday's trading. Looking for it to go a little bit lower. You see how it came down in here and just missed that entry, just a hair, and then exploded to the upside. Still would have given you a nice 50 pip run, but not, and just basically taking out these highs right here. Just a quick stop run, and that was a 20 pip stop run, almost to the pip, and then they fell off. So the Canadian dollar has definitely been acting a little bit funny. Look at the Canadian dollar. Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, wait. Let's try this again. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's trading was the big day. And then Thursday was pretty much if you look on the daily, it'd be almost a doji. Price just ran higher and ran lower, and then finished off almost equal on the day. And now we're trading off shallow. So what I'm looking for here is, again, looking for some give back. 130.40 could offer an area of resistance. So I don't want to see price go any higher than 130.40 to the upside. And I'd be looking basically for this to happen. Just price to come up here, check up, and then run lower. And back to this original starting range in here. So may not get that deep of a retracement going to Friday, but again, the only reason I'm thinking it could move a little bit more is because of this coming up on tomorrow's trading, on Friday's trading. We've got some GDP meeting minutes and some RMPI news events coming out for Canadian dollars, so some fairly high impact news there. And and so we could see price fade off on that one. So watching for that. We may not even get a move higher on it. It could just roll over from here, and it could just be a free fall down. But I wouldn't be holding any lower than here. And if you can get off somewhere in this range here, again, you know, looking for that same 40, 50, 60 pip range, and away you go. Lastly, actually, I'll show you one trade that I had on my demo, and I had this on here from a while back. I think earlier this week I set this trade up, just off the daily. This is the Australian dollar, and you can see price smash down on Thursday's trading, and I'm looking for higher prices ultimately. To go higher. Ultimately, I'm looking for price to come in here. I'm going to be taking some, this is my first target. Second target, when it gets up to here, I'll leave a little bit on after this and watch price to see if they want to get up to this 75.11 or 7,500 level. But so far, price actually just missed my entry by about a pip or two or something. What was the low? So my entry was 17200. These candles here come in at 7201, so missed my entry by 1 pip. Awesome. No big deal though. Again, we could see the US dollar slam back down, slam higher one more time, and then I'd be looking for them to come in and recapitalize that. But I am looking for higher prices on Aussie, so that would be kind of the one signal that I had set up on the daily chart that I just wanted to review quickly. And then finally, actually, sorry, two more things, and I'm going to wrap this up because I've already been 5 minutes longer than I wanted to go. We did a trade. I don't know if any of you are members, but we had a solid trade on S&P today for a nice price movement. Price ran up into here. We called the sell, and right down into here, right down into the origin of the original movement, higher. And we had a signal that would have netted you off about 150 ticks. And you know, on the S&P markets, ES, I don't know if you guys trade this at all, but it's $5 a tick times 150, and you guys can do the math on that. That would have been easily an over $600 move on the ES today alone. That's that we had given a signal to our members for. So if you guys aren't part of our membership group, you should seriously think about checking it out. It's very, very inexpensive. You get involved with our chat room and all of the live trades that we take, and all of the traders chat and experts and everything else that we've got. It's not just myself; it's a couple other guys that we have all collaborating to the signals that we do, and obviously I do a lot of live sessions as well too. Which, by the way, I'm not going to be holding these live sessions to the public for much longer. I'm thinking I'll probably leave it for another month or two, and then we'll probably start capping it and making them private. So if you're not part of our membership group, you won't see these anymore. Anyway, I just want to talk about that. And then finally, crude oil. Real quick on crude oil. Look at this mess in here. I managed to actually get a position off on crude oil going into, and actually I put a chart of the trade up into our chat room. I got short. You see how price coming in here, and it was consolidating, wouldn't go lower than here, and price finally ran up here, and it had a failure swing in here. I got short on, I believe it was this candle right here, and I took this thing all the way down. I think I got out somewhere in here. Price was just sitting going sideways in here forever. I didn't have the patience to watch it anymore, so I collapsed it down there. But you can see how price is just slowly trading off. I don't know what it is about this, but I just, for whatever reason, I feel like it's going to go lower. I could be totally wrong, and coming into tomorrow, into Friday's, hang on, this is getting pretty busy. I can clean this up. I think that going into tomorrow's trading, like so far, price hasn't really got to the body lows of these candles yet. We're trading into the wicks so far, and it's really just crouching. It's just sitting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days it's spending in this range right here. Spending a lot of time. Came up this big gap. This is Monday's candle right here. I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys. Came up this big gap right here from last Friday to Monday, and I've been waiting for them to come down and close this gap, and they just have been unwilling to do it so far all week long. Been driving me crazy. I don't want to. I've changed my, as soon as price, I was bullish all in here. You can go back and check out my previous recordings. Bullish all in here, and I wanted to see them smash price up to get back into these lows in here. And that's exactly what they did come Monday, smashed it up. And I was predicting more of a sell-off from what it did in here. So far, it hasn't done it yet. But I am looking for them to come in, close this small little gap in price, and then eventually they'll probably want to take it higher. But so far, they're unwilling to go down. So here's the thing, though. So I'm just going to bring this up. So you look at this. This is on a 15-minute chart. But look how much time they're spending in here. They're spending so much time. What I'm waiting for, and they haven't been willing so far on the week to go down below these lows right here. This is what I'm waiting for, and I think this is what we're going to get. Personally, and the only reason I'm thinking this is because of how much time they're spending in here. I think they're going to get traders offside, because everybody right now is, and I'll just say this last little bit here for 2 minutes, guys, and I'm going to wrap up because I want to get out of here. But everybody's waiting for them to take out these highs here and to push to a new high and take out 75 and run this back up. So everybody's got their eye up here, okay? What they've been doing is they've been chopping price sideways all week long in here. Monday opened, and Monday had a nice up day, and then Tuesday went nowhere. Wednesday gave back a little bit. Thursday did absolutely nothing, and now we're into Friday's trading. I think it might not happen, going into Friday. It might be next week or whenever, if at all. But you see how they have these two equal lows under here and then this gap? What I think they're going to do is they're going to sit price in here, and when everybody's thinking this thing's going to go long, and they're building up their orders, and they're putting all their long orders and putting all their stops under here and under here, they're going to smash price down one quick time, like just a real quick, it might take them an hour, maybe 2 hours, whatever. And then they're going to do a real quick rejection, and then they're going to run it higher. And all this drop is going to do is get traders offside and out of the market, and they're going to capitalize on all, because they're selling. Right? They're selling their positions. You think about this. Every retail trader out there is in there, and they're seeing this as like a bull flag. Okay? So let me just paint this out for you real quick. Look at this. Price has been going straight up. Okay? Nobody's going to deny that. And then we're coming into something like this, where it's looking like a bull flag. Right? Okay, we've all seen this pattern. So I believe, again, they're putting their positions on, and they've got all their sell stops under here. So they're buying into this. All the retail traders are buying, expecting to move up into here, right? So they've got all of they're selling their orders right underneath these two equal lows right here, because that's their stop. That's their catastrophic stop level. They don't want to see price go any lower than that, because if they see price go any lower than that, then they're thinking, well, this thing's going to roll over. It's going to turn bearish, and I don't want to be part of that, and I want to save and preserve my capital. Well, the big banks and everybody who's got money are just sitting there thinking, well, and looking at this, seeing all the orders sitting here stacking up under here, and they're saying, well, in order to get this thing higher, we need more long positions. So what do? They willingly oblige the people who are selling down here, and they take price down and sell into it, and they buy up all of their orders under here. They get all those people who were right out of the market, and then they smash price up and they rip it higher. Again, it may not happen tomorrow, but it just looks so perfect to me that they would leave that like that and consolidate price sideways like that to not do it. Like, look, I'll give you an example and they've done it a couple times. They did it right here. They did it right there where price smashed up, smashed down, and then ran higher. And they did it right here. Price smashed down, smashed up, and then ran higher. Right here. See? They're coming down, smashed down one time, and then smashed it higher. I mean, I could go back through here, and I can show you a number of examples where they've done that. But you kind of get the idea, I think. So anyway, crude oil. Don't know if you guys trade it. I do. I'm an advocate of it. I think its price is going to probably move higher. But I think they're going to come down, ultimately close up this little inefficiency in price under here, and then I think they're going to go higher from there. So those are my thoughts, down and dirty, real quick for you. I tried to do it in about 25 minutes or so for you. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, I have got I got one question here. Making good gains off your calls from cable. Yeah, perfect. It didn't reach as high as expected. No, I know. I agree. I actually thought cable was... Thanks for the commentary, Big Bacon. I appreciate that. Yeah, right in here, I thought we were going to come down. Saw a nice expansion off of that level that I was talking about, but yeah, it just didn't quite get enough. And the only reason it didn't get any higher than that is because of what the U.S. dollar was doing. The U.S. had a big smash up day today, and putting everybody who was short in here, basically all Thursday did was put everybody out on offside on the market. That's really all they were doing today. I think they're going to roll this over one more time before going higher ultimately and taking out these highs here. But that's why we didn't see a bigger run up higher in the cable. And I was wrong. I mean, I'll admit it. I was looking for price to run higher, close up this inefficiency up in here, but unfortunately we didn't get that. But like I say, yeah, I mean, it obviously, some people were able to extrapolate, probably 50 pips or so off of that call. So I'm glad you guys got some of that out there. And again, you have to be nimble with your trades. There's a lot of trades that I'll try and give you guys where you can literally, I'll go in, I'll do the London session with you real quick. I'll show you some setups, and you can honestly put a limit order in, leave it, walk away, and wait for price to come down and do its thing. You don't have to sit in front of the charts. Those are those simple, easy trades, and I'll show you guys those when they happen. But sometimes, like today's trading, on Thursday's trading, like when stuff like this happens, you kind of got to be watching the charts. And the only reason I would say that on a day like today is because all of the cable news that had come out there, and all of the news events and the FOMC from Wednesday and everything, bit of a more of a volatile week. So on weeks like this, you kind of got to watch watch pricing a little bit closer, but you know, it is what it is. So get in, get out, grab your 30, 40, 50 pips when you can, bank it, and hang on to those profits and wait for next week, because there's always more trading to be had. The markets are never going to go away. So Dave will be in if you guys want to catch his live session tomorrow morning. He will be on usually 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me let me correct that. 9 a.m. New York time. Dave usually jumps on 9 to 9:30 for equities open. Again, it's going into Friday. It was a pretty big week, pretty volatile. Dave will be trading the S&P and the gold markets for you guys. And again, if you guys, I wish we could have given you that call in the S&P today that he had, because it was a nice big winner on S&P, and there's lots more for that to come. Dave is dialed into the markets. The guy's a savage, so hopefully you guys are taking, those of you who are members are taking advantage of that and taking his trades, because he's not wrong very often. So anyway, yeah, he'll be in on Friday morning. You can watch for that. I'll post the links for you guys so you can check that out, and then I'll be back. I'll do a weekly review on Sunday, and I'll be back again live on Tuesday morning, London Open. So we'll catch you then. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Relax. Have a drink if that's your thing. Do some studying. Check out the markets, and we'll catch up to you next week. Take care.